occupied by a charter member of our No Bias, No Bull Rogues Gallery, Senator Ted Stevens of Alaska. He was convicted last week on 7 federal corruption charges. Tomorrow, Stevens faces a strong challenge from Democrat Mark Begich. So with all of that going on, what exactly is his beef with our own Gary Tuckman? Gary is in Anchorage tonight, where I believe it's 8 degrees and fresh snow on the ground there. Gary, what happened? Explain.
Well, Ted Stevens is a tough guy. Even his opponents acknowledge he's been quite a fighter for Alaska, but now he has to fight for his job and his freedom. And he was none too pleased when we showed up unexpectedly to talk with him.
Ted Stevens has not done a TV interview since he was found guilty of 7 felony charges. And he's still running for re-election tomorrow. This is the man he's running against, Anchorage's Democratic Mayor Mark Begich, campaigning after a service at a Baptist megachurch. And just feet away from him, a campaigning Ted Stevens, who is slightly behind in the most recent Alaska Rasmussen poll. I did talk with Mayor Begich.
I just think he's in denial and not recognizing the fact that the jury has come to a conclusion that on all 7 counts he was convicted as a felon.
I introduced myself to Senator Stevens. How angry are you about this?
Not that angry.
You look kind of angry.
No, I'm angry at you guys. You come in here when I'm trying to visit with friends. I see just really once or twice a year.
I know, but
it's really not fair.
The taxpayers pay for your salary. We give our news to the
taxpayers. You're not the taxpayer. Let's calm down. You're not the taxpayer.
Well, that's why I want to get your opinion.
This is a church.
Never mind that politicking is taking place amid the balloons and bumper stickers. This interview wasn't going to happen, at least yet.
My future's in God's hands. The future of Alaska, however, is in your hands.
Later, the senator talked about his faith to hundreds of adoring fans at a rally, and then referred to his encounter with me.
That was bad. You should not have come into church to ask me questions.
But bygones became bygones, and Ted Stevens decided he would talk with us. Any second thoughts about running for re-election?
No, not at all. Because I think there's so many things that are going to hurt our state if I'm not there. It's my job to say.
During the one Senate debate that was held just this past Friday, the longest-serving Republican in the Senate said,
I'm not going to step down. I have not been convicted.
When you said during this debate that you hadn't been convicted, did you misspeak when you said that?
No, I was a prosecuting attorney. I do not feel convictions happen until you finally get sentenced, because the court has a right to set aside the verdict, to grant a new trial, to do a series of things that the court can do.
Some fellow Republicans have asked him to step down, including the 2 who hope to run the country.
Do you feel John McCain and Sarah Palin have let you down by commenting?
Oh, no. No, that's the heat of battle. That and the other people are commenting. They just said that to get you off their tail.
Ted Stevens, who has served as an Alaska senator for most of this state's nearly half-century history, faces the possibility of 5 years in prison for each charge against him.
Ted Stevens has been a senator for so long that his governor, Sarah Palin, was 4 years old when he took office. Now, I asked him before we said goodbye to him if he was scared about the possibility of going to prison. And he said to me no, and he started chuckling, and all the people behind him started laughing too. And I said, how come you're laughing? I mean, this is very serious. You're in your 80s. This is a scary thought. And he said, only guilty people go to prison. I am innocent. Campbell?
You got to admire his defiance on some level, or his delusion. I'm not quite sure which. Gary Tuckman for us from Anchorage tonight. Gary, thanks. Next, our viewers.